We live in the age of abundance. We have access to more information than any generation in history. Tutorials, online courses, AI tools, everything is one click away. But with all that knowledge, why is it still so hard to truly master something? How many times have you started learning a new skill, excited, only to quit halfway? Guitar, languages, design, finance, always started, never finished. It feels like we're constantly learning but never really growing. And it's not just you. A study by Deloitte found that over 70% of people abandon online courses before the halfway mark. We don't lack content, we lack depth. That's where the frustration kicks in. Deep down, we feel like we should be further ahead, and when we're not, we blame ourselves. I'm not disciplined. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is how you've been learning? There's an ancient Japanese method that flips the way we approach mastery. It's not fast, but it's transformative. Those who follow it reach mastery. That method is called Shu-Ha-Ri. Most people think they fail because they lack talent or willpower, but that's not the real issue. What's missing is a clear understanding of how learning actually works. Learning isn't just about absorbing information. It's a process that has stages, rhythm, and most of all, it requires patience and structure. As Confucius once said, learning without reflection is a waste of energy. And that's what most people are doing, collecting tips without building a foundation. It's not about knowing more, it's about internalizing what matters. That's where the Shuhari method comes in. A centuries-old framework used by martial artists, craftsmen, and high-level professionals in Japan. It breaks down mastery into 3 clear phases: follow, break, and transcend. And each one requires a different mindset, which changes everything. The first phase is Shu, which means to protect or to obey. This is where the learner follows. They copy the master, repeat the basics, and don't try to innovate. Simple, maybe. But it demands something rare today: humility. Shu is where the foundation is built. Just like you can't build a roof without laying solid ground, you can't create your own path without learning the fundamentals first. This is the stage of silent discipline. In traditional Japanese martial arts, students may spend years repeating the same movements, not out of stubbornness, but because repetition builds consistency. And without consistency, real growth is impossible. Shu requires patience, and that's uncomfortable. The ego wants to skip steps. It wants to do it its own way. But mastery starts when you admit you don't know and allow yourself to be guided. This phase may feel slow, but it's essential. Without it, the next phases fall apart. After absorbing the form in Shu, the learner enters the Ha phase, which means to break. This is where they begin to question, experiment, and adapt. It's the moment to break the structure, without destroying it. This is when knowledge starts turning into wisdom. You've learned the rules, now it's time to test their limits. Philosopher Nietzsche once said, "He who cannot destroy his idols will never be free." It's not about disrespecting the master, it's about honoring them by going beyond. But Ha is a dangerous place. Many get lost here because freedom can be scary. It's easier to follow than to create. Doubt creeps in. Fear of failure shows up. But failure is necessary. A study by the American Psychological Association found that active learning through trial and error activates parts of the brain linked to long-term memory. In Ha, the learner starts developing their own style. They test new approaches, mix influences, and ask better questions. They begin to think independently. It's in this tension between form and freedom that real growth happens. But to stay grounded, you must always remember where you came from. The final phase is Ri, which means to detach or to transcend. At this stage, The practitioner goes beyond technique. They're no longer bound by rules, and because they've become one with the art. There's no more conscious effort. Everything flows naturally, like a musician who no longer thinks about the notes, they just feel. Like a master who no longer repeats, they simply express. Bruce Lee once said, "Before I learned the art, a punch was just a punch. After I learned the art, a punch was no longer just a punch. Now that I understand the art, a punch is just a punch." That's Ri. The division between the learner and the skill disappears. There's only presence, precision, freedom. But Ri isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new cycle. Because a true master knows they're always learning. They've let go of structure, but carry deep respect for it. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, once wrote, "If you know the way broadly, you will see it in all things." That's Ri. It's not about doing, and it's about being. And reaching this level takes more than skill. It requires inner transformation. Most people never reach Ri. Many get stuck in Shu, repeating the basics without progress. Others step into Ha, but get lost in uncertainty and give up halfway. Why? Because no one told them that confusion is part of the process. Doubt isn't failure. It's a sign of growth. But in today's world, everything is urgent. We want to learn fast, master fast, win fast. And when we don't, we blame ourselves. The truth is, people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they don't have a map. They don't understand where they are in the journey. Shu-Ha-Ri is that map. It doesn't speed up the process, but it shows you where you're standing and where to go next. And that clarity changes everything. Although Shu-Ha-Ri was born in the world of Japanese martial arts, its power goes far beyond the dojo. It can be applied to almost anything. Music, business, sports, coding, cooking, writing, public speaking, you name it. In Shu, you follow tutorials, read books and copy examples. In Ha, you experiment, adjust, and make the skill your own. In Ri, you express it freely, with your own voice, your own flow. Even major companies like Toyota and Sony use Shu-Ha-Ri in employee training and innovation. It's a way to help people move from blind obedience to creative mastery, step by step. In cooking, for example, a great chef first learns traditional recipes, Shu, then modifies and plays with flavors, Ha, and eventually creates dishes. With a signature identity, Ri, each phase demands a different mindset. In Shu, humility. In Ha, courage. In Ri, confidence. Mastery is not just about doing something well, it's about who you become in the process. Mastering a skill is, at its core, a path to mastering yourself. Shu-Ha-Ri isn't just about learning, it's about transformation. Each phase challenges a different part of your ego. In Shu, you face your pride. In Ha, your fear of failure. In Ri, your ability to let go. Eastern philosophy teaches that the true master is the one who knows themselves. As Socrates said, "Know thyself." And Shu-Ha-Ri is a practical way to live out that truth. When you respect the rhythm of each stage, you're not just gaining skills. You're building character, discipline, and awareness. That's the real reward. Not just knowing how to do something, but becoming someone who grows through the doing. We live in a world obsessed with speed, but Shu-Ha-Ri teaches us to value. Depth mastery isn't about rushing. It's about moving with intention. The real question isn't how long will it take. It's who do I need to become to get there? Shu-Ha-Ri isn't a shortcut, it's a map. And if you follow it, even slowly, you'll get far. So which stage are you in right now? Shu, Ha, or Ri? If this video helped you, like it, share it, and subscribe. Let's grow, one step at a time.